Right, what's up people? Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be starting the first episode in a series of slop, and that is a little weekly skate news thing. This may be the only episode you ever see. If the video does terribly, you'll likely never see another one of these again. But basically what I'm going to do here is I'm going to talk about a few things that have happened in the past week of skateboarding. I'm going to give some of my thoughts, some of my own reviews on like some skate parts that have dropped. Not necessarily watching the whole video, just like small segments, because this video is going to be covering a bunch of different topics as opposed to like just taking one at a time and doing one video on each. Now the first topic, and by the way I'm going to be totally real with you, I'm copying the homework of Shredder News right now. I'm using them for a lot of my sources, but I know that they can get things wrong quite often, which obviously right here, sorry Chris Cole, We Shredder apologizes, he is not cancelled and still rolling with Foreland as they dropped an article that had some wrong information. So I've obviously fact checked all the stuff that I'm going to be covering and making sure that what I do say in this is legit, but some mistakes will always happen. Hence in my previous videos where I've said names wrong and everybody's been there ready to slit my throat. But anyway, that is water under the bridge. We're now going to be moving into this one, and I've got an interesting one to start us off. As you can see here, skate rap legend Lil Wayne announces the Carter 6 is complete, long-awaited album. Now, this is obviously a new album, and Lil Wayne has got himself a skateboard collaboration with his own rum company. So he's got his own Bamboo Rum Company, and this board here is actually really rare. Like, if we go to this article from in fact, this was over a year ago. After turning to a professional skateboarder for friends and family, Lil Wayne has a new pro model skateboard deck release for his alcoholic beverage drink Bamboo Rum. Hence, it's only for family members. Now, Lil Wayne's agent actually reached out to me. I keep saying Little Wayne. I don't know why I keep doing that. Lil Wayne's agent basically come to me and said, we want to give you this board. Now, I'm not a family member, and a lot of people accuse me of actually lying about this before, but I've got the proof here. So this video right here was what they basically gave me the box for. So we'll watch this video real quick and then I'll give you my thoughts on it. So the other day I got an email from someone claiming to be in partnership with Lil Wayne. Little Wayne. Why do I always say Little Wayne? I think it's just the UK thing. That they had a package for me. So right here, I'm obviously going to be opening said package. It arrived at my door a couple of days ago. Starting off, we've got some Rampage wheels. Yeah, they literally give like some of the most B-Tech, or that means basic, stuff you've ever seen. Like the Rampage wheels, the Rampage trucks are like some of the cheapest things you can ever buy for a skateboard here in the UK. Like cocktail mixer, which I was not expecting. And then we've got a little box that has some trucks and other skateboard bits in it, like some bolts and whatnot. Going to crack that open and get a quick review on the trucks. I have never heard of this brand Rampage before. I think maybe I might have seen like a complete or two in a skate shop, but they're like an ultra cheap brand, I've since found out. I've never skated them or never really had a go on them myself, but either way, we'll put them back in the box and then move on to the next object. We've got a packet of mint here, so I guess we're going to be making some cocktails. Some just random supermarket mints. We've got some Dash tonic water, a lime, which I thought was random, that was just loose in the box, and then we've got a nice fancy looking bottle of rum. Now that looks pretty cool. I'm not much of a drinker myself, but if you want me to try it and let you know how it looks, I'll let you know. But either way, at the end, we've got this bad boy right here. And there's the board. So obviously the video cut off quite quick because that was a TikTok repurposed to a YouTube short. But yeah, so this board right here was what people think I lied about, but after reading that article, the fact that I've got the board is proof enough that I didn't lie, considering you cannot buy this anywhere. And I looked on eBay and it was like $300 on eBay. So am I going to buy that for just to make a YouTube short? God no. But yeah, for some reason I got sent this, even though it's meant to be for family and friends only. But yeah, so I've got a Lil Wayne skateboard for whatever reason. But yeah, that's article number one. Lil Wayne's obviously got his new album coming out, and I thought it was interesting that I just happened to have this board that was only meant to be for friends and family. All right, next up, we've got Timpool. Anti-woke skateboarding company The Boonies just announced their hot new skateboard decks are now available. Now, keep that in mind, hot new skateboard decks. Both Pool's signature board and those of his pro rider Taylor Silverman are now stacked and primed for sale. Given the hype, they're expected to fly off the shelves in no time. Now, wait a second, because I'm going to show you the graphic of these boards, and just remember they said hot new skateboard. So let's scroll down and have a look at these graphics. Step on Sneck and find out. Literally one of the worst graphics I've ever seen in my entire life. I don't know what the hell they were thinking here. That thing is so boring, so ugly. I mean, some of my brand boards, we've only released 2, but yeah, even that, like just the name across the top, I prefer that. Anyway, obviously I prefer it. It's my own brand, for fuck's sake, Dan. What are you talking about? But yeah, right. That is obviously a very small segment of the news. We know Tim Paul's got his beef with Gifted Hater. Maybe that helped him sell some boards. Maybe it didn't. I've had a few people reach out to me and say they want to talk about the whole Tim Paul skate park situation on my channel, which I could do if you guys want me to do, but I felt Gifted Hater was covering that quite well. Either way, we're going to move on to the next piece of information here. Next up, we've got cancelled pro skater Dwayne Peters is sick and tired of censorship and then proceeds to hate LGBTQIA skaters. Basically, this guy is a really old, like, punk rock skateboard legend. He's like 63, 64, something like that. He's accredited with inventing a few of like the oldest tricks like acid drop and stuff like that. So this guy's obviously been in the skateboard scene for a very long time, but he seems to hate any type of like woke behavior. And don't get me wrong, right? I hate it when people go over woke and start trying to censor everything and like say you can't say this, you can't say that, which is fair enough in some cases, but not all of them. But yeah, he basically goes on to talk about how he hates all these he hates how gay the skate parks are going, and in the same vein asks for people to send him money so he doesn't have to be homeless anymore. So I think this story is pretty tragic. Like, let's have a look at this. Like, well, I always knew something happens along the ways of having to constantly survive. There's no time to look at the body snatchers. There has always been way more goons than cool since the gay park started. Now the cools can't regulate the backyards. This is so cringe, man. And now alien invasion, skateboard mania story, ISIS absolutely coming true. Do you know the whole story? They do. Remember, kids, it's just blabber. It's just complete blabber. And obviously he's getting his post removed from Instagram and stuff, which I don't necessarily agree with. Like, free speech and all that, you should be able to say what you want. But again, if you're pointlessly harassing people and it's not really doing anything apart from like bringing other people down and making other skateboarders, especially from such like an old school legend, at least he was a legend back in the day, then I can see why Instagram, being the company that they are, would take that down. But again, free speech is free speech. If he's an arsehole, let him be an arsehole. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that is our Dwayne Peters segment. Obviously, I'm not really a massive fan of him, to be honest with you, but would he be a fan of me? Fuck no. Anyway, next section here. Kyrie Nuk wins the Street League Skateboarding Men's Apex 03. Zero skateboarders, amateur skateboarder. The Kyrie Nuk totally crushed it at the Street League Skateboarding Men's Apex 03 of his gnarly combos. Obviously, absolutely killed it. Sadly, Nigel was injured, so we didn't see him in the competition. But yeah, this guy obviously absolutely killed it. We got Felipe Gustavo in second, Jamie Foy in third. A great lineup. 3 great skaters. Out of the 3, Jamie Foy is probably my personal favorite. But yeah, obviously a great SLS we saw this weekend. Sadly, we can't stream those anymore because SLS are rampant with striking channels and taking the videos down. Even if you put your own commentary over the top and do your own edits, they just not having any of it. Although I did appeal my strike and I did win. So maybe we'll come back to that in the future. Either way, next we've got the women's SLS Apex 03. Basically, Japanese contest skater Yumi Oda has smashed it and is now the women's champion of the Street League Skateboarding, which obviously the women's skateboarding is a great piece of entertainment too. Every year it seems like the level of women's skateboarding just goes up and up and up and up, to the point where there are actually some female pro skateboarders that are better than some male pro skateboarders. Obviously, the exception does not mean the rule, you know what I mean? But still, a very interesting thing to see how some of these women are getting so good. So I really recommend starting to watch that. If you haven't already, definitely watch the women's because it is super interesting in my opinion and almost as hype as the guys. Next, we've got this Mike Valle story thing here. So basically, Mike Valle has started his own vlog series on YouTube. It's not skateboard related as far as I'm aware. Like, I'm not going to read much of this here, but if we go into the first thing, we've got the Songs and Stories episode 1. Basically, it's like a mini documentary series where he talks about like his life in the band, skateboard stories, and just it's decent. It's decent. If you're not that bothered about it not being skateboard related or not being skateboard centered, I should say, then it's a fairly decent watch. Like, I've watched most of it, but again, it's not something I would probably watch outside of making content like this. And also something interesting, he's disabled dislikes and turned off comments, which is never a good sign. Maybe there was something controversial said inside this video, but yeah. Either way, Mike Valle, an absolute legend in skateboarding. Some of the most iconic clips ever done, like that one of him fighting all those guys. But yeah, Mike Valle, entertaining individual. And now the final piece of information that we're going to go over in this video right here is the Plan B Skateboards drops gnarly video featuring Chris Joslin and Laser Crawford. So we're going to jump into that real quick because this video is actually pretty damn good. We're not going to watch the entire thing. I'm just going to show you a little bit and then leave the link in the description so you guys can go and watch the rest yourself. What I'm going to have to do quickly is I'm going to have to turn the volume right down and go. Huge pop shove nose grind right there. Nice gap to ledge. The classic no comply 180. Oh, geez, didn't expect that. Let's run that one back. All right, the 180 no comply to board slide. Was that front free shove out? Through the poles, not bad. That pop shove it. I didn't even see the trick. I was too busy looking at the poles. Yeah, pop shove it. Not bad. Pop shove it down a stair set is notoriously difficult. Like a tray flip down a stair set, much easier than a pop shove it down a stair set, in my personal opinion. Damn, huge fakey big flip right there. Alright, what we got here? That switch frontside flip down the big gap. Yeah, as you can see, the skateboarding, Chris Joslin level skateboarding is just insane. Like, Joslin has some of the maddest tricks out there, some of the biggest tray flips, like the tray flip down El Toro. Absolutely crazy from Joslin. Remember, Laser Crawford is still stupidly young. Alright, well, this part obviously got some insane skateboarding in it. Very much enjoyable. I would highly recommend anybody checking this one out because obviously these videos are insanely well put together. The skateboarding is insanely good. But yeah, I recommend checking that out if you haven't already. This new series is going to cover a bunch of skateboarding news, and if you guys have any like specific topics that you want me to cover or look into, drop them in the comments or send them to me on Instagram DM because I'm more than happy to take a look. And more often than not, I'm always checking my DMs. So yeah, if you like this video, this news story thing, let me know. If not, and you think it's cringe, also let me know, and I'll never do it again. Anyway, see you guys in the next one. Peace.